Hey friend. So I actually realized, because I was meant to be recording another kind of video, and I kind of realized that I've never actually introduced myself. So I'm busy saying hey friend, but Njani when we don't know each other like that. So my bad. So grab a cup of tea, grab some coffee, some biscuits, something. Let's sit down, let's have a few chats on who we are. So you get to know me, I get to know you. How am I gonna get to know you? Let me know in the comments who you is, etc. But yeah, let me just share a little bit on who I am and my story and stuff. So my name is Pesihle. I am from KZN originally, the Zulu Keroli, from Jerbs, but I am based in Johannesburg. And just a little snippet of who I am, yeah, just a little bit of a snippet of my experience and stuff. So I was bullied as a kid, né? And so for the longest time I was very insecure about being dark skinned, about my big forehead, in case you couldn't tell, about even my like little front tooth, my back tooth situation. That's a phenomenon that happened later on in life, like in high school. I don't know when it changed because I definitely had a gap. And the next thing I knew, my teeth were crossing each other. And for the longest time, I tried to hide it. I laugh a lot as a person. Like, I'm hilarious, but also everyone around me is always funny. So I stayed laughing a lot. And I'd be so self-conscious that I'd literally laugh covering my mouth. Just so sad. But now, listen, this is who I am. You won't get me the way I am. And I think what helped free me actually was social media. There was a time where I did my little hashtag insecure season, and I kind of, in doing that, I was just posting pictures that I'd actually hated because I felt like they actually fully showed and highlighted my insecurities. And so when I did that, I did it for a couple of weeks, very intentionally so. After that, I actually felt so much freer just to show up the way I am. Like, I'm imperfect, and I know that. You know that. We all know that. So what's the point in me trying to cover it up and trying to wait until I get to perfection? What if I never get there? Now what? You know what I mean? So yeah, this is who I am. And so as a result, I'm very passionate about like speaking on beauty, confidence, like that kind of stuff. Like that's something I'm venturing into and I'm very excited about. Anyways, what else about me? So I've been saved since 2008. Love the Lord, been rocking with the Lord. Grew up in a Christian home, but like officially saved since 2008. But in terms of like an actual real relationship with the Lord, that probably only happened after 2009, when a friend passed away from cancer, and like that really like rocked my whole world. But it also was an experience that, yeah, I guess in hindsight, a part of the experience I am grateful for, because I then got to encounter the Lord in a very real way. And the end of 2009 is when I probably started walking with the Lord, like for real, like in an actual intimate, real relationship. And the Lord and I have had very interesting seasons, we have a very interesting dynamic. Depending on the season is how like I describe how things would be with the Lord and I. Yeah, like it's definitely a relationship in terms of like the realness of it, like the highs and the lows and stuff. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful journey. Like I really enjoy my relationship with the Lord. I wouldn't change it for anyone else's relationship. Like, let me give you a little sneak peek of what I'm talking about, right? So just today, what happened just today, right? So there was a bit of a moment where we weren't sure if we were gonna have hot water, and I hadn't taken a shower yet. And I was like, eh. And so I went to go check, and Yanishem, the water was not trying to come out hot. It was cold water that was coming out the shower. Excuse me. And I was like, one thing I'm not going to do is take a cold shower, but I obviously have to shower for the day. And also, like, I'm meeting up with a friend later, so I definitely have to shower. Like, There's no two ways about it. And I literally was like, Jesus, please. I closed the tab and I was like, you know what, let me go make some food or something. Like, let me just go eat and watch something. And then by the time I was done eating, I'd made peace with the fact that like, I'm probably just going to have to like vascom it because I can't take a cold shower. So I'll just have to, you know, do the old school way of like boiling water, using a vascom. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was ready for that. Then I went into the bathroom and I opened the hot water tap in the sink. Not for any reason, but the fact that I always open the hot water tap. Like, I almost always just defer to the hot water tap. I don't know why. And so I'm like, why did I even open it? I don't know. And then the water came out hot. I was like, oh my God. And like, checked in the shower and the water was like really hot. Literally, definitely was like, I'm hopping in. I'm not even waiting. I don't care. Whatever. And I was like, shout out Jesus. Thank you so much. And then before leaving to go meet up with a friend, I remember thinking, like, I haven't had cheesecake. And I haven't had, so cheesecake used to be my favorite dessert. And then 2 years ago, the Lord cut me off sugar. The Lord told me to like stop eating sugar. So I was like, okay, cool. And I stopped. And so obviously there's been no cheesecake for the last 2 years. And I think a month or two ago, I had a meeting at a coffee shop and like they had cheesecake. So I was like, oh yeah, let me have cheesecake because I haven't had it in a while. And it used to be my favorite dessert. And it was fridge cheesecake. I don't know if you know anything about fridge cheesecake. It's just, if you're not craving it, it's not the one. Like, it's not the one. It is not the one. And so like that was kind of a bit disappointing. And so today, like before leaving, I was like, Lord, it would be cool if like they have baked cheesecake where we're meeting, because I haven't had one in so long. And also not one with fruits, because why are we baking fruits, guys? Like, why are you baking fruit? Why is fruit going in the oven? Does it belong there? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Leave these things alone. Don't put that fruit in the oven. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Anyways, I get to where we were meeting and like obviously, hey girl, oh my gosh, yay. And then what do I see, guys? What did they have? Ask me what they had. Ask me what they had. Not only did they have cheesecake without fruit, it was the exact cheesecake that I had in mind when I was like, oh Jesus, it would be so cool to like have cheesecake, baked cheesecake, like the exact one I had in mind. I've never been to this place, so I don't know what they have on offer ever. And I was just like, God, like the Lord is so mindful of even the smallest of things. Even the smallest of things. Because what do you mean you care about my random little cheesecake craving? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you are the emperor of the universe, you know, as Minister Danson says in his song. Like, but you care for my little, it would be cool to have. God is so cool. Like, God is so great, guys. Anyways, all of this to say, like, I love Jesus and I love talking about Jesus. Any chance I get, I'm going to talk about the Lord. Sunday, guys, like Sunday, coming back from church, I obviously was like sharing the gospel with the Uber driver, because I always talk to like Uber drivers about Jesus. When I say I love talking about Jesus, I love talking about Jesus. Like, I don't need much. Like, we're going to talk about Jesus. And the Uber driver got saved. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, everyone should do this. The Lord has called us to go make disciples of all nations, you know? And obviously there's more to it than just evangelizing, but like, evangelizing is also a part of it. Like, go tell someone about Jesus. You never know what you're going to do. And like sometimes with these conversations, it's just like pointing out, you know, stuff that they've missed. Or like, I don't know if that's what you'd call being a Christian. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to stop this thing of like being mediocre Christians and accepting mediocrity, accepting being subpar as the standard for Christianity, because it is not at all. Anyways, yeah, that's a little bit of my story. Never mind, I didn't even drink my tea because, that's another thing about me. One thing about me, I'm a talk. I'm here. Yappy, 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 shut it, please. It's me. In terms of work, I run a non-profit called Elam Empowerment. That's ELAM Empowerment. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And I also run a consulting business called eSolutions Tech. And basically that has to do with systems and processes, process analysis. Systems as in the way that we do things, not IT systems. Nah. But I think I'll just talk about my nonprofit for a bit. So we are passionate and our focus is on empowering the disenfranchised. So in terms of what we've done previously, we did clothes and blankets for the homeless. We partnered up with 3 different organizations and gave them clothes and stuff, and then also blankets to the people on the streets. And then we did a pad drive, and we took a whole lot of diapers, wipes, baby clothes, and pads to the women and babies at Kgoshi prison because of a study that I'd read about women in prisons and menstrual health for women in prisons. I'm excited for us to do more with that. And currently we're working on an event for unemployed youth, just kind of speaking into purpose and equipping in that way, and looking at entrepreneurship and those kind of things. Because the honest truth is that with a youth unemployment rate of 44.3% and more students still coming out of varsities and the job market being saturated, we can't keep doing things the same and think we're going to get a different result. So we have to do things differently. And I think this is one of the ways is, with our Purpose to Youth Summit that's coming up in May, we've just had trouble and struggles with getting sponsors for the event and funding for the event. Not because it's not a great idea. It is a great idea, but I think, I guess our timing maybe was off in terms of the listful of companies and departments that we've approached. Everyone's applauding it, but they're not able to come on board for whatever reason. And so we're now reaching out to our networks in terms of help guys, please help us put this event together in whatever way you can. And any little bit counts. Any little bit is going to help go a long way in making this event a success for the unemployed youth. Because I really do think that there is something in this. And it is important work. It's just, we need the opportunity. And so, yeah, man. Please check out our Instagram. Hit us up on the email, elamempowerment@gmail.com. If you've got, if you're able to sponsor anything, or if you've got a plug for us, or if you want to give towards the event, or if you want to find out more information actually before you commit yourself to anything, that's also valid. You can hit us up either way, and we'll send you, the full spiel on what we're trying to do, and what ways we need help specifically. Yeah, but that's a little bit on the nonprofit. And yeah, and so I guess the tea was just here just to warm my hands. I hope you drank some of your tea. But that's just a little bit on who I am and a little bit of my journey, I guess, outside of virginity, because I'm obviously more than just virginity. Do you know what I mean? And I think in the next video, we're going to spill some actual tea, because in one of the last videos, I'd spoken about how there's specific things that I'd only ever talk about if the Lord told me to speak about them. Did the Lord not say, Sissy, tell you ndabas? So that's going to happen. That's going to happen. But hey, man, that's another chat for another day. Thank you so much for joining me on the sit down. I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye, friend.